The Whispering Shadows.
The old mansion on the outskirts of town had always been a place of mystery and intrigue. Abandoned for decades, its once grand architecture now stood as a crumbling testament to time's relentless march. Locals whispered tales of hauntings, of ghostly apparitions seen through shattered windows and eerie sounds echoing through its empty halls. Few dared to venture near the property, and those who did seldom spoke of what they encountered. Chapter 1. The Dare. It began as a dare, as these things often do. A group of college friends, fueled by a mix of bravado and curiosity, decided to spend a night in the mansion. There were 5 of them. Emily, a fearless leader with a penchant for the supernatural. Jack, her skeptical boyfriend. Sarah, the shy one who was always eager to please. Mike, the class clown. And Lily, the quiet observer with a hidden strength. They arrived at the mansion just as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch and writhe with a life of their own. The air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding settled over the group as they crossed the threshold into the mansion's decaying interior. Chapter 2. The First Signs. The evening began innocuously enough, with laughter and playful banter echoing through the grand foyer. They set up their sleeping bags in the dilapidated living room, its once opulent furniture now draped in cobwebs and dust. Emily, ever the organizer, had brought along a Ouija board, much to Jack's dismay. As the night wore on, they gathered around the board, hands trembling with a mix of excitement and fear. The planchette moved slowly at first, spelling out nonsensical words and phrases, but then it began to spell something coherent. Leave. A chill ran down their spines, and the laughter died in their throats. Emily, undeterred, pressed on, asking who or what they were communicating with. The planchette moved again, spelling out a name none of them recognized. Ethan, Chapter 3. The History. Intrigued and unnerved, Emily delved into the mansion's history the next day. She discovered that Ethan had been a young boy who lived in the mansion over a century ago. According to town records, he had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and his body was never found. Rumors suggested that he had been murdered by his own father, a man driven to madness by unknown forces. The more Emily learned, the more she felt a connection to the boy's spirit. She became determined to uncover the truth about his fate and put his restless spirit to peace. Her friends, though hesitant, agreed to help her in her quest. Chapter 4. The Apparitions. As they continued their investigation, the group began to experience strange phenomena. Objects moved on their own, disembodied voices whispered in their ears, and cold spots appeared throughout the mansion. Sarah, who had been the most skeptical, now found herself terrified by the unexplainable events. One evening, while exploring the mansion's basement, they discovered a hidden room. Inside, they found old, tattered journals belonging to Ethan's father. The entries detailed his descent into madness and his belief that dark forces were controlling him. The final entries hinted at a terrible ritual he had performed, one that he believed would free him from the malevolent entities. Chapter 5. The Ritual. Emily became convinced that the ritual had gone wrong and that it was the key to understanding Ethan's fate. She decided to perform the ritual herself, hoping to set things right. Despite Jack's protests, the group reluctantly agreed to help her. They gathered the necessary items, candles, salt, and a worn, ancient book that Emily had found in the hidden room. As they chanted the incantations, the air grew thick with an oppressive energy. Shadows flickered and danced on the walls, and an icy wind whipped through the room, extinguishing the candles. Chapter 6. The Confrontation. Suddenly a figure appeared before them, a ghostly apparition of a young boy. Ethan's spirit gazed at them with hollow, sorrowful eyes. He reached out a spectral hand, and Emily felt a surge of emotions wash over her. Fear, sadness, anger.
Ethan, what happened to you?
Emily whispered, tears streaming down her face. The boy's apparition flickered and dissolved, revealing a darker presence behind him. It was Ethan's father, his face twisted with rage and torment. He lunged at the group, and they scattered, desperately trying to escape his wrath. Chapter 7. The Escape. In the chaos, Sarah stumbled and fell, her ankle twisted and useless. Jack and Mike rushed to her aid, while Emily and Lily faced the vengeful spirit. They knew they had to complete the ritual to banish him, but the ancient book had been knocked from their grasp. Lily, her quiet strength finally revealed, retrieved the book and continued the incantations. Emily, her voice trembling but determined, joined her. As they chanted, the spirit of Ethan's father howled in fury, his form disintegrating into a swirling mass of darkness. With a final deafening roar, the dark presence was expelled from the mansion, leaving behind an eerie silence. Ethan's spirit reappeared, his expression one of peace and gratitude. He nodded to Emily before fading away, finally free. Chapter 8. The Aftermath. The group emerged from the mansion, shaken but triumphant. They had faced their fears and uncovered the truth about Ethan's tragic fate. Emily felt a sense of closure, knowing that she had helped a lost soul find peace. In the weeks that followed, the mansion was finally demolished, its dark history buried beneath the rubble. The friends went their separate ways, forever bonded by the paranormal experience they had shared. Chapter 9. Lingering Secrets. Years had passed, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling that not everything had been resolved within the haunted mansion. She began to have nightmares, vivid, haunting dreams featuring Ethan and his malevolent father. The dreams grew more intense and frequent, leaving her exhausted and determined to find out more. One night, in one of her recurring dreams, Ethan appeared more clearly than ever. He seemed to be trying to communicate something urgent, pointing toward a darkened corner of the mansion that had been overlooked during their earlier explorations. As Emily woke in a cold sweat, she knew she had to return to the site one last time. Chapter 10. Return to the Ruins. With the mansion now demolished, Emily had to get permission to visit the construction site of the new home. The new homeowners, intrigued by her story, allowed her to look around. She explained the urgency of her mission, and they granted her access to what remained of the mansion's foundation. Accompanied by Lily, the two women ventured into the remnants of the basement, where they discovered a hidden trap-door beneath a layer of rubble. With great effort, they pried it open, revealing a descending staircase cloaked in darkness. Chapter 11. The Forgotten Room. The staircase led them to a subterranean chamber that appeared untouched by time. The air was thick and musty, and the only light came from the flickering flame of Emily's flashlight. As they moved further into the room, they noticed strange symbols etched into the stone walls, symbols that matched those from Ethan's father's journals. In the center of the room stood an ancient, ornate chest. Emily's hands trembled as she opened it, revealing a collection of old toys, a locket, and a set of dusty scrolls. Among the items was a photograph of Ethan with his mother, a woman who had been absent from the records Emily had uncovered. Chapter 12. The Truth Unveiled. Emily and Lily carefully unfolded the scrolls, revealing detailed instructions for the ritual Ethan's father had attempted. At the bottom of the last scroll, they discovered a letter from Ethan's mother, explaining that she had hidden her son to protect him from his father's madness. However, she had been too late, and the dark entities had already taken hold of the father. The letter described a way to truly banish the dark forces and free Ethan's spirit, involving a combination of the ritual and the locket, which contained a lock of Ethan's hair. Emily knew they had to complete the ritual correctly this time to free Ethan once and for all. Chapter 13. The Final Ritual. Back in the hidden chamber, Emily and Lily set up the ritual with the newfound instructions. They positioned the locket and other items according to the scrolls and began chanting the incantations. The air grew heavy, and the temperature plummeted, much like before. But this time, they felt a sense of purpose and hope. As the ritual reached its climax, the dark presence of Ethan's father emerged once more. But this time, they were prepared. The locket glowed with an ethereal light, and the shadows recoiled from its brilliance. Ethan's spirit appeared beside them, guiding their hands and lending his strength to the incantations. The room filled with a blinding light, and the oppressive energy dissipated. When the light faded, the dark presence was gone, and Ethan's spirit stood before them, looking more at peace than ever before.
"Thank you,"
he whispered, his voice barely audible. With a final nod, he vanished, leaving Emily and Lily standing in the now calm and quiet chamber. Chapter 14. The Legacy. With Ethan's spirit finally freed, Emily and Lily emerged from the basement, feeling a sense of accomplishment and closure. They shared their findings with the new homeowners, who were grateful and promised to honor the history of the land. Emily's nightmares ceased, and she found herself at peace, knowing that she had done everything she could to help Ethan. She and Lily remained close friends, their bond strengthened by the extraordinary experiences they had shared. The story of the Whispering Shadows continued to be told, but now it included the tale of two brave women who had uncovered the truth and freed a lost soul. The new home stood as a testament to their courage and determination, a beacon of light in a place that had once been shrouded in darkness. And though the mansion was gone, its memory lived on, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to be unraveled, and some spirits are meant to be set free. Chapter 15. The Unexpected Visitor. Several months after their final visit to the construction site, Emily received an unexpected visitor. An elderly woman, with eyes that held a depth of sorrow and wisdom, knocked on her door.
She introduced herself as Margaret, Ethan's mother.
Emily was stunned. She had believed Ethan's mother to be long dead.
Margaret explained that she had left town to escape the horrors of the mansion and had been living in solitude ever since. She had seen news of the mansion's demolition and felt compelled to return.
Margaret shared more about Ethan's life, his father's descent into madness, and the dark rituals that had ensnared their family.
She revealed that there were other spirits bound to the mansion, spirits that had been trapped by the same dark forces.
Chapter 16. The Hidden Spirits. Determined to help, Emily and Lily agreed to assist Margaret in freeing the remaining spirits. They returned to the now completed home, explaining their mission to the sympathetic new homeowners. With their permission, they once again descended into the hidden chamber. Guided by Margaret's knowledge, they uncovered more hidden rooms, each containing remnants of the past and clues about the trapped spirits. As they explored, they felt the presence of the spirits growing stronger, their whispers more urgent. Chapter 17. The Final Confrontation. In the deepest part of the hidden chambers, they discovered an ancient altar, its surface covered in symbols and offerings. Margaret explained that
This was the source of the dark power, the anchor that held the spirits captive.
they prepared for one final ritual, gathering all the items they had found and arranging them on the altar. As they began the incantations, the chamber filled with a palpable energy. the air crackling with tension. The dark presence of Ethan's father emerged once more, but this time he was not alone. Other shadowy figures joined him, their forms twisted and anguished. Emily, Lily, and Margaret stood firm, their voices unwavering as they chanted the incantations. The shadows writhed and screamed, but the light from the locket and the power of their combined voices prevailed. One by one, the spirits were freed, their forms dissolving into the light. Ethan's father was the last to go, his expression one of sorrow and regret as he finally let go of the darkness that had consumed him. Chapter 18. Peace Restored. With the spirits freed and the dark power vanquished, the chamber grew quiet and still. Margaret thanked Emily and Lily for their bravery and dedication. She felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in decades, knowing that her son and the other spirits were finally at rest. They emerged from the hidden chambers, feeling the weight of their journey lifting. The new homeowners were grateful for their efforts, promising to preserve the history of the land and honor the memories of those who had been trapped for so long. Chapter 19. Moving Forward. Life returned to normal for Emily and Lily, but their experiences had changed them forever. They remained close, their bond stronger than ever. Emily found new purpose in helping others with paranormal phenomena, using her experiences to guide and support those in need. Margaret decided to stay in town, reconnecting with the community and sharing her story. She became a beloved figure, her resilience and wisdom inspiring those around her. As the years passed, the story of the Whispering Shadows evolved. It became a tale not just of hauntings and dark forces, but of bravery, friendship, and the power of compassion. The new home stood as a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, a beacon of hope in a place that had once been shrouded in darkness. Epilogue. A new beginning. Years later, Emily returned to the site of the old mansion. The new home stood proudly, its modern architecture a symbol of renewal and hope. As she stood on the property, she felt a gentle breeze and heard a faint whisper, a final farewell from the whispering shadows that had haunted her past. With a smile, Emily turned and walked away, knowing that some mysteries are meant to be unraveled, and some spirits are meant to be set free. And though the mansion was gone, its memory lived on, a reminder of the power of love, courage, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. As she left, a new family moved into the home, unaware of its dark history, but filled with hope for the future. The story of the Whispering Shadows continued to be told, a legend that would inspire generations to come. And so the cycle of life continued, with new beginnings rising from the ashes of the past and the Whispering Shadows finally finding peace.